Yo, what's going on YouTube? My name is Tyler, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Talk. We are here today talking about a we didn't think we were gonna have a lot to talk about, and then the past 2 days happened, and we said, well, we went from a nerd talk to a 2.5 hour nerd talk. Okay,
Jam packed.
here with my lovely co-host AJ Reacts to. What's going on, brother?
What is going on? I am pumped to talk about the topics we have today.
My best friend is back in the building. Kevin, what's going on, man?
Yo,
Kev.
We are on episode number 59. We will be at that triple digit number sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
We're on episode number 59. Hope everyone had a great day. It was a nice, crisp 72 degrees today in the Big Apple. And I slept most of the day after working. You know.
What's up?
taking advantage of the nice weather.
Yeah, man. You know it.
I'm
We got
jealous.
we got a lot to talk about. I'm excited to talk about 95% of the things. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting with the official announcement that the Five Nights at Freddy movie will be releasing hybrid on Peacock and theaters in October of this year. So it was announced that this movie got a release date. I don't remember the exact release date, but I know it's the same day as Saw 10, which
I forgot about that.
yeah, me too. So this will be releasing the same day as Saw 10, which I mean, hey, good for the horror genre. It's gonna be a
October 27th.
October 27th. The horror genre is gonna be making money that day because if people don't go see one, they're gonna see the other. The flip side of this decision is why Universal decided to release this hybrid. Now, full disclosure, I think this movie is going to be rather awful. I have absolutely no faith in this movie, and Willy's Wonderland killed all that faith. But I really don't understand from a box office standpoint why Universal would do this, because if I remember correctly, didn't Halloween Ends not make the money they wanted to because of the hybrid thing?
It didn't.
And
It didn't make the money it wanted to.
I don't understand. I feel like Universal thinks this is going to be big for them. Why would you release this hybrid? I don't understand. I feel like this would have been easy money, and it makes sense to have it exclusively in theaters and have it go head to head with Saw 10. That makes sense. Why would you just make it? Oh no, you don't got to pay money for it. You can just stay home because the Peacock subscriptions aren't going to factor into box office. So I don't really understand what their mindset was. Now, to be fair, I'm happy that this is happening because now I get to watch this heap of shit in my home for free. I don't know. This is a very stupid decision to me. How do you guys feel about this?
Honestly, I didn't even know that this movie was coming out. I knew it was announced, but I remember it being announced last year, so I didn't think it back in my mind that it was going to come out this year. And then all of a sudden, it's just like a surprise, it's coming out this year.
It's been announced for years, but they finally started. I
don't know. Same shit with that Minecraft movie, and then that shit randomly got release date. So who fucking knows? It's dumb. I'm not gonna see it in theaters because I didn't anticipate it being in theaters anyway. Finance of Freddy's is just a dumb game. It's a fun game back when it came out, but this is a decade too late to come out with it. The game was popular back in 14, 15? I forgot when. Probably wait.
Back when we were in school.
Yeah. This is 10 years too late, or 8 years too late, something like that. It's 8 years too late, and then you're just gonna do a hybrid release. You're asking this movie to bomb. You bet it's not gonna be good.
And it doesn't help that you're going against Saw, which me personally, I hate the Saw franchise. I think it's awful, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it doesn't do bank at the box office. I know that franchise does bank, and I think the only reason why Spiral didn't make much is because one, it was a spinoff, which I understand why they're bringing back Jigsaw for this movie because it makes sense. Nobody gave a shit, and two,
Nobody cared.
so that was still in the COVID type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this Saw 10 is gonna make money as soon as people see, oh, Jigsaw's coming back somehow. I hope they do the Jigsaw thing. The
Lazarus Pit.
Jigsaw. I hope they do that where it's like it's a secret prequel. Because if they just say he's back somehow, I'm gonna be mad. But this
We
franchise
literally
has
see
done
the
worse
top
than
of his
that.
head get cut off, bro.
This franchise has done worse than that.
No, bro.
Saw 10 is gonna make money
Never
regardless.
resurrected nobody.
That's the point. Saw 10 is gonna make money. So this movie is off to a terrible box office run from even before the first trailer is released. So
yeah, I don't have much to say about this topic because I don't know much about Five Nights at Freddy's. I know of the game, but
what's up, Alex?
yeah, I don't know much about the story I know it's really no story, but I don't know anything about the characters, the animatronic characters or anything like that. I do want to see a trailer for it.
Me too.
And see the tone, and see what they're like really trying to do. Because I feel like this could be a horror comedy. I feel like this has to be a horror comedy or something.
It has to be. It has
There's
to be.
Horror
no
comedy.
way they could take.
Listen, the reason I'm gonna say no because I played the VR Five Nights at Freddy's that released whenever they released it for the PlayStation. That was one of the most horrifying experiences I've ever had playing a video game in my life. That was actually scary. If they can capture that in a film, it would be really good. You can make it scary. Now, looking at who's producing this,
Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be
the reason why I feel like it would be. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Sorry. It's because the game itself is scary, but the idea of those animatronics in real life, it's gonna look so fucking dumb. It really is.
It makes me think of Willy's Wonderland or the Banana Splits because I watched the Banana Splits too, and that it is a horror comedy, but it does lean into the horror slasher genre as well.
I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, it's just about the same as Willy's Wonderland. I like Banana Splits more, but it's just about the same.
Well, I'd assume Banana Splits is more fun than Willy's Wonderland. Willy's Wonderland, to me, my biggest issue with that movie is that it tries to be fun, but it's ultimately too serious at points.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't help that you have the one person that could infuse the most fun into that movie, not say a single word.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That was the issue I had with the film. But yeah, I don't know. I want to see the tone of this film and see.
I'll wait for
what the goal is. Is it a horror comedy? Is it like taking itself seriously? I feel like if it takes itself too seriously, it's not gonna be good. But
I'll wait for a trailer. I'll be optimistic, just like something we're gonna talk about today. I'll wait for the trailer. You know. Sure. Nobody has anything else, and I don't think so. We're gonna talk about the big thing that happened this weekend. Apparently, Star Wars Celebration was this weekend, and I had no idea until I woke up that morning, and I said, "Oh, okay, it's Star Wars Celebration." The reason I say this is normally they in the past couple of years they haven't done anything for Star Wars Celebration. So I think the last time that I actually gave a shit about Star Wars Celebration was when they had announced the title for Rise of Skywalker or something. That was the last one that I actually paid attention to.
It's the 40th anniversary, right?
I think so.
40th anniversary.
So we're gonna break this thing down. So we got 3 new official Star Wars movies announced by one Kathleen Kennedy, who apparently is making her exit very soon. That needs to be immediately. But so I'm gonna break this down by my excitement of the movies that we got.
Okay.
So the first one I guess these two are really tied. It's the last one that I want to talk about, but so the first one that was announced was a movie directed by Dave Filoni, which is going to be tying up the Mando verse stories, I guess.
Mhm.
I guess this is fine, but it's weird to me because John Favreau was like, "Oh yeah, a season 4 of Mando is happening." Like I think he said he wrote it or something. So I was like, "So is the reception of season 3 making you guys not do that?" It's possible, but
I was thinking season 4 would come out then the movie because
it
they
could
still
be.
got to drop Ahsoka.
My thing is like, what do they mean by tie up the loose ends of the Mandoverse? Like, are we gonna see Ahsoka and Boba Fett in this? Are we gonna see Bo-Katan and all these people? You
I
know,
Yeah, it's
think
gonna be like
the
a
Mando.
Avengers Infinity War of the Star Wars Disney Plus shows.
which
I
that
don't
could
think
be really cool.
I don't think Ahsoka will be a part of it. I don't see her being a part of it because I think first of all, I didn't even know Mandoverse was like a thing.
Never did
I
I.
just thought this was just like an extension. They were like Mandoverse. I'm like Mandoverse. Where the fuck did this come from?
I
I
think
think
they're
it's
still
more about
trying to build it.
Mandalorian. I hope that it's just continuing off this overarching storyline about all these Mandalorians, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett could potentially come back, and then we still obviously have Din, and probably just I'd hope this is more about getting back Mandalore and just officially taking that reign back. You know, whatever we see in season 3 and whatever potentially season 4 could be, we see that climax happen. We see at the end of that movie, we see Mandalore is like restored, and we see everybody. That's what I hope. And if that's the case, I'll enjoy it. If not, then I don't even fucking know what else they can do.
My thing is like this show has introduced many and given us many returning characters.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say we don't see Luke Skywalker on the big screen again, the way everyone wanted to see him? It's a
Do
possibility.
we want that?
I don't know. I don't know. That's just something I was thinking about. I was like, we've seen Luke Skywalker. That who's to say we see him again? Do I need that? No, but it
Mm-hmm.
could happen. But this was just kind of now. I don't have a problem with Dave Filoni directing this. I think it's fine. I've loved pretty much everything he's done with Star Wars. I'm okay with that. It's just them making Mando into a big screen movie. Like, other than the idea of seeing all this on the big screen with a big screen budget, it's like, okay, I guess this is a very odd, you know, movie to do. You know, um, this next one
Hmm.
is the one that excites me the most, and the one that I read it and I was like, okay. It will be directed by James Mangold.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. I mean, come on. And it will be essentially a movie that comes before Knights of the Old Republic and will essentially be about the creation of, well, not creation, I think it's called Dawn of the Jedi or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that it's gonna be inspired by like the Ten Commandments and stuff like that. And I was like,
Yeah, they said biblical Star Wars.
I was like, that sounds very Ryan Johnson X, but
Mhm.
okay. This excites me. I'm a little worried because I don't. They kind of tried this with the prequels where they tried making it like Jedi is like a religion and stuff like that, to an extent, because the prequels were insanely goofy, but they did try and dipping their toe into this. I just hope, I'm open to this. I just hope that it's not to the point where it's like it's boring and just like miserable. Like, you can explore new concepts like The Last Jedi, but you also need to have that element of fun in it too. So I'm open to this. James Mangold is a very good director, so I have no problem with this at all. The the last one, this is the one that got the most traction, and it's not hard to see why. Um, so this movie is being directed by Charmin Obaid Chinoy. I'm very sorry if I butchered your name. I probably did. Um, and this movie will essentially establish a new Jedi Order. And I said, okay. They announced this without announcing the next thing. And when they had announced that, I said, okay, I guess. Like, that should have been your goal the whole time with the last trilogy, but okay. And then they announced that Daisy Ridley is coming back as Rey. And I said, what? I was like, really?
Yeah, she's supposed to lead the new order
Lead
of
it?
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
so you meant
Lead the
shit.
lead the new order of Jedi.
I listen.
Don't worry,
I
you have
love
the honorary Skywalker.
I love Daisy Ridley as an actress. I think she's fantastic. I actually think she's underrated and hasn't really gotten much to do. Um, she is not the problem with the sequel trilogy by any means. None of the actors are. Even Rose. I don't think that actress was bad in that movie. It's the writing. It is the writing with those characters in that movie. This announcement really did nothing for me. Everyone was throwing a Thanksgiving sized parade when they announced that she was coming back. I was like, what are you excited about? Like, I do we need more movies centered around Rey? What more can you do with this character? You already had the chance to make her a badass and you just squandered it. And now it's to the point where I'm like, I mean, when she shows up, I'm gonna be like, hey, you're cool, but like, this just it screams boring to me. Like, if you're gonna make a new Star Wars movie establishing a new Jedi Order, give me all new characters. Why do we like? What is the point of bringing Rey back? I don't know.
All right. Rey is the same thing Tyler said. Rey is a character. She's fucking horrible. Daisy Ridley, she's awesome. So if she comes back, all the more fun with it. Rey is fucking horrible. Honestly, her character was ruined for me the moment they said that she was a Skywalker, bro. Fuck that shit. But, sure, I guess, leading the new Jedi Order, that's an interesting idea. Hopefully it works this time, and not the last time someone tried to restore the Jedi Order. But I don't know. This whole Jedi Order stuff it's kind of boring. Only because I hope that if this movie does come out and we see this new Jedi Order, it's established enough that I can enjoy it. I don't want it's still kind of establishing itself, or the same thing with Luke. Oh, it fucked up again. I want to see this Jedi Order. I want to see how it operates, how this new Jedi Order operates. Different from the one in the Republic era, different from the one Luke tried to set up. I just want to see something new. Not massacring anybody. Just let us see something new. Honestly, I think Finn should have been like the Jedi all along, or at least should have been marketed as one, but neither here or there. But yeah, this movie, this is a wait and see for me. I'm not excited for it, but I'll keep an open mind.
I think the biggest issue I have with this is Mandalorian established that, and not just Mandalorian, Andor too, for most people, not me, but it established that Star Wars can be interesting without laser swords and force. So them announcing, oh yeah, we're gonna get a new movie establishing another Jedi Order. It's like, who cares? Like, give me something that's not the Jedi, to be honest. That's why I'm more interested in the James Mangold thing, but I don't think that movie is going to be like this. I don't think it's gonna be like. I think that's gonna be like a character study type thing, And then the Mandalorian thing, obviously, that's different stuff. But centering whole movies around lightsabers and the Force, I'm kind of just over it. Like they've done it so many times to the point where I'm like, I just don't care anymore. And that's to the fault of Rise of Skywalker.
So, an overlook at all three movies. I'm just excited to get Star Wars back in the theaters. I've been missing seeing Star Wars in the theaters. Now, let's start with you started with the Mandoverse tie-in movie. Um, I think this could be promising. Mando, yes, we've seen him on the TV, the little screen for his entire career, but I think this could be cool if we have good writing. I think all of these could be great. Um, I I want to know who the overarching villain is going to be for these, the whole Mando verse, because if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be Ahsoka, Mando, and another show, right? Boba Fett too. So, I know they showed like the back of Thrawn's head in the Ahsoka trailer, which we'll get to later. So I don't know if he's just gonna be in there in that series, or he's gonna be that overarching villain that we get in that movie. But I would be excited to see that. Like I said, if Infinity War Star Wars version, give it to me. I'm ready for that. Moving on to the next film, the James Mangold film. I think that could be really cool. And what you said about character study, I'm thinking of like a Logan type of, you know, it might not be noir, but it could be like a character study. It could break down the layers of a specific character. I think if the writing is great, James Mangold, he's gonna knock it out of the park. As far as this, the Daisy Ridley thing, I agree with you. The actress is good. The character, I don't hate her as much as some people do. The whole Skywalker thing, it wasn't great, but I didn't hate it as much as most people.
To clarify, I like her. I actually love her in the first two movies. It's the third one.
She's fantastic in the first one,
especially Last Jedi.
She's good. I think there are things that they kind of played with in the third one that could have been kind of interesting, but it just kind of didn't work. But I don't know, like giving her another arc or more to do could be strange. I really hope, like I said, if the writing's good, we can count on these movies. But I think it really comes down to the writing. The direction is probably going to be there already. So yeah, I'm probably most excited for the James Mangold thing, because I think that would be something a little different than what we've gotten, like a character study or breaking down a certain character, and this probably a time that we haven't even seen in the Star Wars universe. So that will be interesting.
Yeah, that's before Knights of the Old Republic. That's back in my day,
Yeah, exactly. and it's gonna be exciting to see that era of Star Wars, because we never really got that. Maybe in some of the novels or books that are out there, but never on the big screen. So hey, I'm not writing it off.
My issue is I want movies that have concepts like Star Wars Visions. That's what I want.
And you want them to be canon?
Well, yes.
I mean, but Star Wars Visions isn't canon, so
I know. But like I want, you look at Star Wars Visions, which we're gonna talk about. you see all these creative concepts for these little episodes. I'm like, why can't we get these little concepts for essentially nothing because they're not canon, nothing episodes, but then we're getting the same old nonsense. Well, some of the same old nonsense for these movies. Why? Like, bro, we had in season 1 of Visions, we had essentially a samurai episode with lightsabers. You mean to tell me we can't get something like that in a movie? That would be awesome. Like, this is a whole galaxy. The creative juices should be there, and they're just not. And I don't know why. It is a unlimited sandbox with unlimited things to do, and you want to do the same crap. Why?
Comes down to the writing. I'm telling you.
All right. Moving on to more Star Wars. These next two, this is essentially a Star Wars Celebration coverage before we move on to the other things we're talking about. Ahsoka trailer 1. Very good. Very, very good. I've had my eye on this for a while. Ever since she showed up in Mandalorian, I was excited about that. And the couple episodes she was in, I think it was one of Boba Fett. Show looks awesome. Very good. Filoni's gonna have me watching Rebels, isn't he? Because this show is basically Rebels epilogue, if you will. I'm not mad about that, you know. I still haven't watched Clone Wars, and I'm missing out on things. I know, you know, when Disney puts it in the right order on Disney Plus. I
thought you watched Clone Wars.
Some of it.
You watched some. Okay.
Yeah, this looks very good. I love Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. We got Mary Elizabeth Winstead in Star Wars now.
She's green.
She is green.
Green, my favorite color.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This looks pretty interesting. It's funny. I'm very excited to see Thrawn, despite not actually seeing Rebels at all. When they showed that shot of Thrawn, I said, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh, okay." The new Sith we've got in this show look awesome. They've got like orange lightsabers, which I think Filoni came on and said they're not actually lightsabers. They're like this other weird type of thing where like the energy is different coming from them. So like they are lightsabers, but they're not lightsabers. I don't know. I don't remember what they were called. Because somebody was bitching about how they look on Twitter, and then somebody corrected him and was like, "Oh, there's a reason why they look like that." I don't know. What did you guys think?
Even not Ahsoka's though. She has lightsabers. Yeah. It's just a Sith. Oh, okay, got you. The trailer looked good. I don't really have much connection with Ahsoka. I do like her in Mando and what have we seen of her in Boba Fett, but other than that, I don't have much of a connection with his character. So I felt like I was a little bit, I don't know if I want to say underwhelmed by the trailer, but I don't feel like I got as hyped as I should have as a Star Wars fan. So I don't know. It looks promising. It's a decent trailer. Nothing was wrong with it. Did we get a story for this trailer? I feel like it wasn't very like detailed with the story and what it's actually going to be.
I think she's just going after Thrawn because I think in Rebels Thrawn kidnaps Ezra, and I think that's how the show ends. I could be wrong.
So it's like it literally is. Like,
yeah, it
following Clone Wars and Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
So, I haven't watched those shows, but the trailer looks cool for what it is. I just wish I could have. Let's go. I wanted to get like that with it, but it wasn't quite like that for me.
Kev? Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat with Tyler. I've watched like the first season of Clone Wars back when Ahsoka was still like a brat in the sense. So I don't have a connection with her, like her mature form.
Yeah.
And So I guess this mature form is new to me. I don't know. It feels she feels one dimension. I guess it's a weird thing for me to say because she doesn't feel like someone who has this energy with her. I don't know if something happened in Clone Wars or in Rebels or at the end of Clone Wars.
The finale.
Yes, I'm
Clone
aware.
Wars, bro.
I am aware of Order 66. Okay, I'm aware that happened, but I don't know. I guess for me, I just don't. It feels weird, but it does feel like a detective show. She's going around trying to find this guy, who I still don't have a connection with anyway. I don't know. The story feels weird. It looks really good.
Yeah.
So I will give it that, but because I have no connection to Ahsoka and her arc in the Clone Wars, Rebels, and beyond, it's hard for me to have a real opinion about it. I'll just say it looks really good, and hopefully it turns out well for them.
If you guys don't have any other thoughts, let's move on to the last Star Wars, celebration Star Wars thing. Star Wars Visions.
This is what got me hyped. This is what got me hyped, bro. I saw that trailer. Woo!
Y'all not ready for the man I'm about to be on May the 4th, bro. I'll tell you that right now. Star Wars Visions. For those who don't know, when it feels like ages ago, season 1, I guess volume 1, because it's called volume 2. Volume 1 of Star Wars Visions to me was a near masterpiece. I absolutely loved that first volume of shorts. This, while I have some gripes, does look very good. I think this looks awesome. The biggest thing that excites me, it's the exact opposite of what we just talked about with the movies. The creativity, the diversity, the uniqueness looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like, we're looking like we're about to get a short where it's essentially Michael Myers with lightsabers. Like, how does that not excite anybody? I'll get my one gripe out of the way right now. My biggest issue with this season coming in now is the fact that this isn't really anime. The first season was very heavily anime inspired. This is not that. This is all new animation. This is essentially just animation. So it's essentially just What If, the Star Wars version at this point, which that's what the first one was, but it was very heavily anime inspired. And I'm actually terrified of this season now because that's what I loved about the first season. All the lightsaber battles in that show, I was like, this is anime with lightsabers. This is awesome. And I kind of feel like they won't capture that again.
I mean, the animation doesn't look bad though.
It doesn't.
That's
It looks fine. That's not my issue. My issue is the style, not in terms of animation, but how it's crafted. Because you watch anime and then you watch something else that's just animated, and you're like, this is totally different. But I don't think it's gonna be bad. I think it's gonna actually be very good, and I'm very excited for season volume 2 of Visions. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead,
Kev.
Yeah. Unlike, actually, I don't know about AJ, but unlike Tyler, I am a huge anime fan. I love the first season. I love, the creativity they gave them, and
I love the
the
first season. What are you
studios.
talking about?
Yeah. No, I meant anime in general.
Like anime. I love anime. I just don't watch it all the time, but I do love it when it's great.
He said neither here nor there.
But season 1 was great, or volume 1 now is really good, and I really enjoyed it. To your point about it not being anime, or at least Japan studios taking over the reins for this, I don't mind it because I'm not sure what others. I mean, there's a lot of stories you can tell. They're being very creative with it, but I really enjoy them just reaching out to all around the globe, not just Japan because it's anime. Like, it was good as a starter. Like, you could say, oh yeah, we grabbed some studios from Japan and had them do like anime for Star Wars. I really enjoy that they're branching out, and I looked at the studios in the country of origins. they're all around the world. You're talking about Spain, India, South Africa, so many different studios that they're making these phenomenal stories. I'm assuming. My only gripe with Volume 1, and I hope they changed it with Season 2, with Volume 2. I hope the episodes are longer. I'm not the biggest fan. They still had really good stories, but I was not the biggest fan of 13, 10. I think there was one that was like 9 minutes episodes. That was a gripe for me because I think the story could have been developed better. And in 20 minutes, you could do a lot with 20 minutes for a short. So I hope that these episodes are at the very minimum 15 minutes, not like 13, 10 minutes. If they're 15 to 20 minutes, I think they'll turn out a lot better. That's not to say it won't be great. The animation looks phenomenal. The stories look great. My favorite one, I think one of them is stop motion animation, or at least it looks stop motion.
The Aardman one.
So, yeah, that one looks really good. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. Some new animation studios. It's gonna be awesome checking that out. I just hope the episodes are longer.
Yeah. Volume 2, man. The trailer looked great to me. I actually just watched it before the stream. But I feel like, to your point, Tyler, that it's not like anime inspired. I think that's okay with me. Like Kevin said, as a starter for season 1, that was great that they had that. But branching out could be even better to me. Honestly, getting different animation styles, especially hand drawn, it even broadens the creativity. I don't feel like this show should be put in any kind of box, really. As I don't want to see live action for this show, but it, like, any type of animation, I'm cool with. Now, as far as the episodes being longer, I think some episodes can fit the shorter run times. Like, there was this episode in volume 1 that was like a rock show, and I needed that episode to be short. Like, I don't need a 20-minute episode of that. But if it's like,
I don't mind if there were like gimmicks, but there are some episodes like
First
the Samurai
all,
one
this
that was like a full on like a story. So
this is the issue that needs to be fixed. I don't want silly ass episodes like that rock stuff.
I feel like the Wallace and Gromit episode is gonna be like that. It's gonna have, like, it's gonna be a little gimmicky.
I want shit like the twins. I want shit like the ninth sister or the sixth sister, whatever.
The twins should have been longer than
it should have been.
I want more stuff like the samurai episode. That's what I want. I don't need shit like them performing a rock concert on Tatooine. That you could keep that shit, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it as long as it's short. So that's I don't know. I that's just my thoughts on it. I'm excited. It's coming soon, a lot sooner than I thought it was gonna be here. I thought we were gonna get it like in the fall or something like that. But it's gonna be here in a couple weeks. So I'm pumped. I'll probably watch it all in one sitting if the run times are, short enough. But yeah, do we have a number of episodes we're getting for this?
9.
9? Okay.
I think I just
Got you. So yeah, this will probably be watched in one sitting for me. I need to go back and watch volume 1 again because I only watched that series or the volume once when it came out.
Oh, me too.
And I really enjoyed it. So I don't know why I haven't returned to it, but I don't know. I guess out of sight, out of mind. Not a lot of people are talking about it. I feel like this group is really the only group that I've heard actually discuss Star Wars Visions. I know people are out there that watch it, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's as popular as it could be. But yeah, I'm pumped for this. This is probably the most excited I am for anything Star Wars that was announced recently. So
yeah, man. If you guys have thoughts on Star Wars Visions, I doubt it because nobody watches it. So instead of giving us your thoughts, go watch it and then give us your thoughts.
Yes.
I could just I don't even know why I put this shit in the notes, bro. It's the same thing every time. Every time. I will say this. This trailer was better than the last trailer. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, is this movie so ugly to look at? And I
Peter Pan and
mean,
Wendy.
so ugly. This movie looks. Now, this is no insult to Half Blood Prince. I understand why this movie looks like that. But my God, does this movie look like Half Blood Prince in the worst way humanly possible? Why? What is the fascination with these live action remakes looking so gray and lifeless? I don't get it. The worst thing is when you watch the original and they have all this color.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they legit took this movie and did a fucking Shang Tsung Mortal Kombat fatality to it. It just looks so gray and dull. I don't know. I don't have much to say about this trailer. It was very fine. I just don't think the movie's going to be good because I've seen this before. They've released that meh first trailer, and then the second trailer, they put all the goodies in it, and then you want me to sit here and be like, oh, that was a decent trailer. Okay, the movie's going to be good. And then when I watch the damn thing, it's going to be awful. So I'm not falling for it this time. I'm going into it thinking it's going to be awful. How did you guys feel about this?
Kev, go.
I don't know if I was in a good mood watching it, but I fairly enjoyed it for some reason. My gripes with the trailer are still present, but I guess just the same as last time. They're trying to reimagine it to a more mature, darker theme, but they're keeping a lot of the elements from the first movie, from the original movie, like the crocodile and like the magicalness of this new place. They're trying to sell us as this magical Neverland area, but it looks nothing like it. It looks very dull. That's my issue with this movie. If you're gonna make something look mature or slightly in the color scheme that they had gone with this movie, there are a lot of different directions you could have taken this movie instead of just basically creating the same story but changing the tone entirely. That is just not what I that is just not what should be expected of this movie coming into it. But the reason why I enjoyed it, that is because of everything else. I think it looks fine, and I fairly enjoyed myself watching the trailer. So I don't know. It's just something that's gonna be there. Comes out, I'll probably watch it. Never think about it again. So that's how it's gonna be. Thank God it's on the theaters then.
Oh Lord.
I literally watched Peter Pan for the first time like a month ago. So I don't have the same connection to this story as a lot of other people that grew up with this, story. So watching this trailer, I felt almost absolutely nothing. And it is because I don't have that connection, but also I just feel like this movie doesn't look fun at all. It looks like it's all the fun is like sucked out of it. It might be because of the color scheme. It might be because of the kids, the acting. It's just like the acting performances, whatever it is. I don't know. It just doesn't look fun. I more than likely won't watch this movie, to be honest.
Oh, you're going to. You know you're going to.
Watch it.
I didn't watch Pinocchio. I didn't watch like any of the other live action straight to Disney Plus.
I didn't put an emphasis on Pinocchio. I think I told you to skip Pinocchio. I'm gonna have you watch this, whether it's good or bad. Trust me.
No, I don't think I'm gonna watch it, but you could try if you want, but I don't think I'm gonna watch it. Why do you want me to watch this movie? You don't think it's gonna be good? Like,
I don't know.
trying to make my life miserable, man.
It could be good.
Yeah, I even if it is, it's just not on my radar. I got plenty of other stuff that I could be watching. So, yeah.
I have absolutely nothing to talk about. I truthfully, I don't even know why I put this in the notes. It came out, and I wanted to talk about it. Moving on to something.
I take that back. Well, not saying that I'm gonna watch this movie, but the one thing I saw that was kind of promising is Captain Hook.
Oh yeah.
That's the only. Thing
I've been
that,
saying
kinda got
that.
me.
I've been saying that since as soon as they announced, oh yeah, Jude Law's Captain Hook. I said, well, that's gonna be the best part of the movie.
Yeah, like I was watching the trailer and straight
Yeah.
face all the way up until he knocks the door down, and I was like, that's kind of funny. Jude Law, I think he's gonna carry this film. His back is gonna
carry
by carrying this.
They had
film.
an ambulance on standby at Walt Disney, bro.
Facts. So I don't know. Like, if I do watch the movie, it's gonna be because of that.
All right.
But anyway,
moving on to something I actually wanted to talk about.
Moving on.
The Marvels teaser trailer. I said it last week. You know, or they had announced this yesterday, and I was like, okay, that's kind of out of nowhere, but okay. I said I will go in with an open, and I said this every time we talked about this movie. I said I will go in with an open mind. I will wait for the first trailer. I had to watch this like twice over because the first time I watched it, it was in a way where I was like, I'm trying not to get caught in trouble at work because I was trying to
shaking my head.
The more I've watched this trailer, the more I've really liked it. I did now the first time I watched this trailer, I actually did like it. I was like, that looks fine. I think this could be really fun. I think the thing that's selling everyone for this movie is having all three Captain Marvel-esque characters in this movie. I think that's a big selling point. The main one is Miss Marvel, obviously. She's the one that can do no wrong. And seeing her in an MCU movie is kind of surreal. It's like, that's cool. But the movie looks really fun though. It looks like a really fun time. The action looks really cool. This is directed by Nia DaCosta, who did the Candyman requel. We could thank Scream 6 for giving us that term. But she, say what you want about that movie. The directing was not the problem with that movie. I think she did a very good job directing that movie. So I was kind of nervous seeing that she had directed, I think she had only directed one other thing. And then Marvel was like, no, come direct this. And I was like, okay. But it looks very nicely directed. Music choice is great. I don't know whoever's picking these teaser trailer songs. They're on point, bro. They had the Black Panther one was on point. Guardians, Ant-Man. Now this. So somebody's doing their job at Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am interested in this movie. Now, we only really saw one glimpse of the musical portion of this movie, and I have a terrifying feeling that they are just not going to have them singing in these trailers at all on purpose, because they know that if they show that, people will most likely be like, I'm not seeing that. Because I know there's a lot of people that don't know that there will be a musical portion of this movie. And my other thing is I hope they don't do the switching thing a lot. I feel like that could get old really quickly. I hope they use it sparingly. Like the scene in the living room was funny. When she switches and we get Goose back, a fucking hack of a cat. And it kills all those things, and she was freaking out. That was funny. I just hope they don't like use it a lot because I feel like it can get stale really quickly. Like use it in some parts, and then obviously we're gonna get it in the action, which that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about this?
This was I really enjoyed it. I was a big believer, not a big like huge believer, but I was a believer in this movie because Nia DaCosta was directing it, and after what she did with Candyman, I really enjoyed it. And I was proven right. I really enjoyed this trailer. I think there's a lot of plot. The plot was not there, but there's a little bit of interesting things inside. I did see the main villain, or what she looks like as the main villain, carry Kamala's bracelets, or at least what looks like her bracelets. Either
The
they
bangle.
came from the bangles, yeah. I don't know why I say bracelets. But either she's took it from Kamala, or there's a second pair out there. Who knows?
Mhm.
I think that's interesting. I am most intrigued by the beginning scene where they showed Monica approaching what looks like another.
Force
It looks similar to force field. It looks very similar to the one in WandaVision,
Mm-hmm.
at least from first glance. I'm very interested in that. How that turns out. Maybe Wanda is just fucking around again. Who knows? Or there is something else out there, or maybe it's Agatha. Who knows?
I guess so. Oh.
I'm very interested with that. But as far as the basic premise of it with them switching bodies, I agree with Tyler. It should be used sparingly. And from the reaction of Captain Marvel when they switched in the living room and she was like very tight, and which by the way it was hilarious. I think they might want to use it sparingly. I feel like Carol looks the way she reacted is like she didn't want to deal with it. Like she told them, "Don't fucking do this shit again. I would like to be on my own."
Mm-hmm.
So I think that will be interesting, and I really do hope that the action looks good because in that little bit where they were switching, and it seems like by the activation of the powers, that looks very awesome, and I think that's just going to be something to look forward to. But the trailer looks really good. I'm very excited for this. My issue, and I think AJ mentioned it to me, or if not, somebody else, that Nick Fury does not look like the Nick Fury from Secret Invasion, at least appearance-wise. His scar wasn't that prevalent, at least from the little glimpse we saw in that trailer. Either this was before Secret Invasion or after Secret Invasion. I'm really interested to see how this works because technically Secret Invasion, by the time it comes out and starts airing, the Marvels would have been very close to releasing, if not having already released by then.
A month.
A month. So it probably would have, the last few episodes would have released by then. So that.
So is Secret Invasion, did that happen after the Marvels or before?
I have no idea.
I feel
because
like
Nick Fury,
Secret...
it looks like clean Fury, like in the sense like this is not the Fury that's on Sword. This looks like the Fury that still has a scroll disguise on it, like from Far From Home. And maybe that's still prevalent. Other than that, who knows? I hope the timeline thing gets fixed up, or maybe by the end of Secret Invasion, we'll see Nick Fury looking more clean, and then it transitions into the Marvels, which will happen. But I don't even think he's going to be that highly invested in the movie to the point where he's going to have a prominent role. He's probably just going to be there. Me too. I enjoyed him in Captain Marvel, but that's about it. I don't want him to be like
him in Captain Marvel a lot.
To the point where it's like he's just that staple side character for Captain Marvel. I don't need that. But it looks good. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for it. Just another Marvel project that hopefully in this new quality versus quantity era that we seem to be heading in, it looks good.
Mm-hmm. Kevin texted us the trailer this morning, and I was debating on whether to react to it or not. I decided not to. Watched it on my phone. I thought the trailer was decent. I didn't love it. The only things as far as the trailer is concerned that I actually really liked was the swapping. I thought that was like the beginning portion. The swapping was funny. I thought it was actually pretty hilarious. And then the action sequences were awesome, I thought. with the swapping. Kamala is a gem. We need to protect her at all costs. Kamala Khan is actually one of my favorite MCU characters at the moment. Like, I really like her, even though her show was, decent. It wasn't phenomenal, but I always liked her in it. So to see her on the big screen is going to be awesome as this character. As far as Monica and Carol, I feel like they didn't really give much in this trailer. They didn't really give, a whole lot of, personality. And that's something that I want for Carol, because everybody hates Carol. Oh, she sucks. She doesn't have any personality. I actually like Carol Danvers, and I like the first Captain Marvel movie. And what I want for her character is, which I could see happening here, is to have an arc. She has to work with she's forced to work with them, like, because they have a connection, and hopefully by the end of the movie she starts warming up to them and starts becoming a more likable character, because even I can admit she's not the most likable and approachable character. So that's how I feel about Carol. Monica, I want to see more from her as well. We got a pretty good portion of her in WandaVision, and we got to see a lot of her personality. Now I want to see it shine in this movie. I want all of them to have the spotlight equally, so we can get some development there, and so we can see what all of them can do. Monica, after WandaVision, we know Monica has some issues with Carol, and I want to see that worked out in the movie. I want to see that. I want to see them, Monica having a screaming match, and just showing that she was hurt by Carol leaving. I want that to be broken down and explored. Now, the musical sequences, I don't know how long the sequence or portion of the movie is going to be. I hope it works. I really, really hope it works, because we had a little bit of that in Eternals. We got where Kingo is on set, and he's, dancing and, performing or whatever, but it wasn't part of the movie. Like, it was in the movie, but they were on set in the film. So I don't want
and
it,
we also
like, they
had
didn't break out into song. As
they didn't they didn't sing, but in Miss Marvel there was a dance sequence, which
there
was
was a dance sequence.
probably my favorite scene in that whole show.
Yeah.
So,
you mean Miss Marvel? Miss
yes.
Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
was a great, and that was the wedding episode, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that was really good. So I hope they integrate it and write it to where it makes sense and it just works for the movie. As far as this teaser trailer is concerned, we really can't tell, but yeah, apparently Captain Marvel gets married on this planet, and there's tons of cats, and this, honestly, the movie kind of looks like a mess from this trailer, from this teaser. Hopefully it's not a mess, but it feels like an adventure. I want it to feel more like an adventure than a mess, if that makes sense.
I will say this: Captain Marvel suits. We get two in this trailer. One I really like. The other one looks like horseshit. Take your pick as to which I feel about which one.
The one later in the trailer you don't like?
I think that looks awful. I hate it. This is such a gripe that I have. I hate it when superheroes get costumes and the color palette is not their color palette. Like, I hate when I see Spider-Man wearing like pink and yellow. I'm like, that's not his colors. Like, why are you doing, like, it's the same thing with Batman. When I see Batman wearing like orange, like, why are you wearing orange? Where are your colors, bro?
What colors was she wearing that weren't her color palette?
It's like brown, teal, and yellow. I think that's what it looked like.
It was okay. To be fair, the second suit it's not in good lighting, so it's kind of hard to see exactly the detail of the design and the color. I saw blue and red. That's what I saw, but I could be wrong.
Maybe the brown is red. I don't know.
I don't love the suit though. I don't love the design of the suit.
The other one is way better. I like that it actually looks like a suit, like actual clothing and not padding. It looks like a actual suit.
I really like Kamala's new suit, and I like Monica's too. It's not like extremely different than her other suit, her white and black one, but I like both of those suits. I think Kamala's new suit might be a little over designed, but other than that, I like it. Other than that, so
Everything with Kamala. I mean, the girl could shoot somebody, and I wouldn't.
don't say
that. This is what I didn't talk about, and then we'll move on. I pray to Jesus that they fix the CGI on her powers. If I have to, if I have to see that CGI on an IMAX screen, oh my God.
Are you talking about like where she creates different things? I don't know if she still has those powers, man.
Yes, she does.
They showed it in the trailer?
Yeah, she does something and you see it come out her arm.
Okay. Well, by the end of the season of Miss Marvel, it seemed like her powers changed in some way. So that's why I thought that. But
listen, all I'm saying is fix the CGI, because the finale of Miss Marvel was embarrassing in terms of the CGI. That was atrocious. And I don't need to be seeing that in a movie theater. Please. What's going on, Luke? Yeah, if nobody has anything else to say about the Marvels, I'm looking forward to this now. You have me hooked. Don't mess it up. Something that I pray would just get me hooked. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny trailer numero dos. I just don't care. Like, again, this is just like the Peter Pan thing, though. I don't think this trailer was bad. I actually like this trailer a lot. There are things in it I like. I think everything with Mads Mikkelsen I like. His motive from the trailer looks pretty cool. I don't like them having the villain from Logan hunting down Indiana Jones. I don't think he's a very good actor. And so having him go after Indiana Jones does not interest me in the slightest. And then the thing with his goddaughter?
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
It's one or the other, yeah.
It's something we've seen 18,000 times before, where it's like, oh, I'm going to go with you. And then it's like, oh, no, actually, no, I'm just here for this. Bye, I'm going to backstab you. And then, no, I'm actually going to help you again. The thing with the Dark Knight Rises with Catwoman and Batman. It's like, oh, my God, bro. I see this so many times. It doesn't look bad. I just don't care. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a movie that just seems like it's just gonna come and go. I don't see me walking out of this thinking, man, that was damn good. I hope I do. I hope I watch this and I'm like, man, that was really good. But I don't have high hopes for this movie, if I'm gonna be honest. That's just me.
I kind of had the same thing. It looks good. I'm not gonna. I enjoyed it. Again, it's probably the same thing with Peter Pan, that I'm probably just in a good mood to the point where I'm just enjoying everything. But it was good. It was fine. I enjoyed myself with this trailer. It's kind of the same thing with Tyler. It's one of those movies where it's like, yeah, it's there. It's there. It's coming out. I'll probably watch it or pay attention. But I'm not gonna be all excited. So I guess that's just my overall thoughts. It looks good. It looks fine. Um, it looks actually I'm not gonna say it. This sounds weird. It looks fine. It looks fine, but I'm not gonna care too much about this movie to be excited. So
Hmm.
you can go, AJ.
Um, I am actually really excited for this movie. After seeing the first trailer, I thought the first trailer was really good. And then I watched the second trailer before the stream and I was actually getting kind of hyped. I really enjoy the Indiana Jones franchise. I have love for every single one of those movies. Yes, even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's not a good movie. It's very shiny. I still like it. Um, the my favorite is Temple of Doom,
Me too.
and
Well,
it just feels like this movie. Apart from, I think my only issue is, and this is not even, I don't even know if this is the case with the movie, but it seems like they're going to be doing a lot of flashbacks with de-aging, and the de-aging doesn't even look terrible. It just, I know that it's there,
yes,
and I don't, it kind of
it's
takes me out of it a
noticeable.
little bit. Yeah,
It's
it's
noticeable.
noticeable. It's not like horrendous. I've seen worse CGI, but I know
Rogue
it's,
One.
yeah, I know it's there, so it's like, you know,
It's
come
not
on, let,
like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
yeah, yeah.
Like that
I
de-aging, I was like, yo, what
I
what
even
year did
think
this movie come out in?
I even think Captain Marvel
Yeah.
wasn't bad for
No,
de-aging.
that was very good.
I think Marvel has done a good job with de-aging. Like even when they did Tony Stark. Um but this movie, it kind of looks a little run of the mill. I agree with Tyler that it doesn't look like it's bringing much new to the table, but it looks like fun to me. And that's really all Indiana Jones needs to be to me, is just a fun time,
I just
adventurous,
my issue
and
with this is like, why? Like I don't understand why. What is the
like,
point
why
of
is it
this?
being made?
Yeah,
Or
what
like,
is the
as,
point of this movie? Like what is this movie like? What is this movie going to do that Last Crusade didn't do? Last Crusade to me is a fantastic ending to the series. That was my issue with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I was like, why is this movie happening? We already had an ending for him. Like
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. What is
is it?
this movie going
I mean,
to
keep. Mhm.
solidify that Last Crusade didn't?
I mean, I don't know if it has to do anything that's different. I mean, it should, but I don't think it really has to, to be a fun time. As far as why is it happening? I mean, another Indiana Jones movie. Like, why not? That's what the studio said. Why not? Harrison Ford, he's still alive. Let's throw him in there. So I'm
That's
not
fun.
mad at it. The trailer looks cool. I hopefully there's something in this movie that is not the same. That
Me
that
too.
is a little bit different and kind of gives us something new, as far as this series is concerned. But if it's not and it's just a fun time, that's enough for me. And I don't know, I just hold Indiana Jones close to my heart,
I
and
mean,
like I have love for all the movies.
if I walk out and give it a 3.5 and I say it's fun, I'm not gonna be mad.
Yeah,
I'm just
I feel
I
like
don't know.
that might be the case.
I was just annoyed watching these trailers because I'm like, I feel like I should be sitting here like, yo, it's Indiana Jones, like let's go, and I'm just like, okay, it's another
Hmm.
Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
That's how I was feeling. I was like, "Let's go! It's another Indiana Jones." I don't know. That was just me. I don't know. You just now got into the series though, so I don't know. That might be part of it too. That's kind of how I felt with Peter Pan and Wendy. I didn't feel much towards it. Like, even though the movie doesn't look like fantastic or great or anything, I didn't have much to feel about it. And I feel like that's kind of how you are with this. You're cool with the movies, but like half of them you don't really care about. So
Okay, if we don't have anything else to say about this, let's move on to one of our two television reviews. Bel Air season 2, episode 7.
How many episodes we got left after this?
I think 2.
2?
Could be wrong.
Sheesh.
2 or 3. For 6 weeks, we've been very positive about this show. Very positive, which is deserving. Now, not going to be very negative on this. I thought this episode was very good. However, there were things that ranged from confused me to just got on my nerves. I'm going to keep this short and brief because it's just going to be the same thing with Mando. There's really nothing to talk about with Mando. There are more things to talk about this than Mando. The characters in this episode, I have never wanted to drop kick so many people in my life. More than I did in this episode. We're going to start with the most offensive and get to the least. Well, we'll start with the least offensive. Jackie was drunk, okay? Moving on.
Maybe. She might have been drunk. She might have been putting on a facade. Who knows?
Carlton Banks, bro. I can't stand looking at his stupid face. I just can't, bro.
It only started this episode. Well, in the first season too, but
I haven't felt this way about Carlton since last year, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. He reverted back to his season 1 self.
Yeah, bro. The bounce back was real, bro.
For real.
I don't understand. So, in this episode was built around the campaigning for the Founders Award, and Will was trying to maintain the stuff with Doc and the Founders Award. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I actually really liked the scene with Will where he was like just speaking from the heart. He wasn't, reading off like a pamphlet or nothing. I liked that.
As far as what, when he was talking to Doc?
No, when he got to school and he was unprepared.
Yeah,
I liked that.
And they were like, but how does this pertain to
I was like, you fucking
that was hilarious. No, I was like, no, that's real though. You can't sweet talk your way out of everything. You gotta know your stuff sometimes. I was glad that happened to him because like I feel like it's way too many people out there that just slide by because they're smooth talkers. And no, but how does this pertain to the curriculum that this is founded upon? You're like, let me look it up. No, I was kind of happy that happened to him. I was like, oh, because it sounded real good what he was saying. I was like, oh, okay.
So then the big thing that happens in this episode is somebody not somebody, we know who it is, but somebody leaks.
It was a mystery for a while throughout the episode.
A video that I'm kind of glad that now they do this stupid thing, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm kind of glad that this came back because I was like, oh yeah, this happened. This was a big deal. And it was just never brought up again. I was like,
season 1.
I should have brought that up again.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I didn't like about this was that essentially it was the footage from that part of that episode back in season 1. I was like, who was recording that?
The cameraman.
I was like, who was recording that? But
they watching season 1, bro. They had to get caught up.
Yeah. So yeah, the moment when they were singing that song and Will got tight because of what they were saying and Carlton was defending it, it got leaked. And obviously Carlton got upset and Will got upset. Now, I didn't really understand why Will was freaking out because Carlton said it. He was like, the video doesn't make you look bad. It makes me look bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, why is Will getting pressed? I didn't really get that. Fucking Carlton. Oh my God. Bro, this man watched Will react the same way he did to that video getting leaked. And he got the audacity to be like, you posted it. I'm like, what? Bro, do you not realize that Will does not care about this award at all?
Well,
What?
he cared
Not
about it a
okay,
little
but
bit,
not the way that Carlton does, though.
and not to leak
Yeah,
something to smear his
not
name.
enough to do that.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Mhm.
And then they get into it in the house, and then this you would go from one what fight to another what fight. It was just like all of this just came out of nowhere. And then the thing with Uncle Phil, other than one line of dialogue, I was like, where did this come from? I don't remember him ever saying, oh yeah, he can't handle the Founders Award. Do you remember that? I can't remember that.
Nah.
I was like, where did that come from? I feel like we missed the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing in this episode was that Uncle Phil was trying to help him with the Founders Award. Well, Will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Will. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, so why couldn't you just show me the scene of him saying he can't handle the award? That's fine. That makes sense for him to say, but you not showing me that he said it, I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this was very bizarre. I was like, why are you people so y'all just had a family reunion? Why are you guys so miserable right now?
Because I feel like the writers were like, yo, it ain't been enough fighting in this season. Let's make it all in this episode.
Get him.
Like, right. Let's put everybody on everybody. Like,
the Jeffrey stuff I liked. I liked all that stuff.
I was not expecting him to, or the son to be in this episode. I thought that was gonna be like a finale thing. And he showed up. I was like, oh, okay.
I very much like the scene with, was it Uncle Phil that told him like, oh yeah, Jeffrey was the one like sending you meals and all that stuff.
Yeah,
when you were in the game.
It was Phil.
I very much like that scene. I like that a lot.
So he's been in your life,
yeah,
you know,
that was very
throughout the years. You just haven't seen him.
That was very good.
It's good, really good.
I like the on Viv thing. That was very good too.
Yeah,
I like
she's
that.
standing up for her art.
I'm liking the on Viv stuff. I'm wondering where it's gonna go, but not in a bad way. I'm like, okay, the steps are there. Let's see where we go.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna talk about Will before I talk about that. So the ending of this episode with Will and Jackie, I was fine with this. I'm okay with what's happening with Will and Doc. I have a strange feeling it's gonna end in a stereotypical way or a cliche way. I don't know.
They already put the foundation for, Doc is just in for the money. They already kind of hinted at that towards the beginning of the season. They kind of forgot about it throughout the season, but this episode shows that he kind of can be a little manipulative, and I believe this. When they were sitting there on that step and they were saying, and he was like asking them, oh, your uncle got you out of a tight spot, what happened? I think he's going to use that information to blackmail him and be like, if you don't pay me money, this is going to get out. It's going to ruin his career. And so I definitely think that's what's going to happen.
I feel like that is a little weird because people found out about that anyway. I feel like Doc would just make it more public.
Yeah, he would make it because he's kind of a public figure. And, I think at the beginning of the season, he found out that something went awry back in Philly. So he was like, okay, I'm going to gain his trust. Then I'm going to blackmail him so I can continually get this money.
Yeah.
So, and he's using Jackie he's using Jackie to help him do that too.
That all that stuff is fine. I'm okay with it. Most of this stuff is cool. The progression of it is fine. Ashley was nowhere to be seen, and good because if she was in this, she probably would have came off like Jenna Ortega and screamed.
She had like nothing this episode. Like she had nothing to do. If they would have, given her something to do, I feel like this episode would have just felt way too jam packed because there was already a lot going on.
She probably would have came out her room. You got I forgot what the teacher's name. You got my teacher fired. Blah, 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 blah. You got Miss Hughes fired. We'll be like, bro, we led a whole protest for you. Well, now she's not coming back. Like, bro, who are you, bro? You're like 12.
That was kind of the writing in this episode. Like, everything had to have a conflict. Everything had to be negative. And the same thing with the Jazz and Hillary stuff.
I feel like it kind of would have made sense if they had this episode happen and then the family reunion won the next episode. That way it could be like, oh yeah, they're all at odds with each other. Let's, come together.
They got to come together even with the tension. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think that could have worked even better. And then you had Jeffrey's son at the family reunion too.
Yeah,
added
that would have been better versus y'all just had this wholesome event and now y'all ready to kill each other, bro.
right, exactly.
Jazz and Hillary, bro.
Yeah, that's probably our last topic, huh? Here.
I feel so bad for Hillary. They are doing her no favors this entire season.
I feel like this situation wasn't bad with Hillary though. Like, I think
it's boring.
I didn't find this situation to be boring. It was just annoying to me. Like, ever since the gallery.
No, the Simply Spiked stuff is boring.
The Simply Spiked stuff, the whole rivalry with Ivy, I didn't like any of that. But like, as far as the Jazz stuff, like even with her going to meet Jazz's family, I found that kind of interesting, even though I found it a little cliche, but I found it more interesting than any of that Simply Spiked and Ivy stuff. That they could have kept that. Mm-hmm. But like this part of the episode here, like, even I said it last week, even when we had the family reunion, Jazz should have been there, bro. Jazz should have been at the family reunion, should have been with his woman. Because that's who she wanted. That's who she said she want. And this man got to take all his insecurities and like, oh, I'm an Uber driver. You don't want me on your arm. What? I'm telling you that I do. Why you I don't know, man. That Jazz really got on my nerves this episode. Like, he self-sabotaged. That's what he did. He self-sabotaged. I hope they address that too.
I said it when they got together. I was like, this is an experiment that I really hope pays off. And it didn't pay off. I didn't think this went anywhere. And honestly, if they don't fix Hillary's character, bro, or writing for her character, I mean, it's going to get to the point where I'm just like, bro, get off my TV. And I'm already at the point of get off my TV. And I can already sense they're going to go back to the Ivy nonsense.
Yo, I do not want them to go back to Ivy, but I don't know. I like Hillary. I like the actress. I like Coco Jones a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hillary's character and her situations, how they were written this season, I don't know. It's a little off.
Ashley's barely there. She's got more better situations than she does, bro.
Facts.
Ashley had more of an interesting episode talking to an old man than Hillary has in every episode this season.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But I'm assuming next week we're gonna get more into the Doc stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if Doc finds out what happened with Will by the end of the next episode. But I'm a little worried about where the season's gonna end off.
Me too.
But
I definitely am.
And I can see it ending with a more definitive cliffhanger than the last season, being that it did get greenlit for season 3. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
Sorry, Kev. Sitting there for half an hour.
The episode that made everyone cry Mando, am I right? The geeks that cried Mando. I want to keep this short and sweet because of what's coming next, and we've talked about a lot tonight. I liked this episode. I did. I did. I thought this episode was cool. It was fun. I've come to the realization that unless Star Wars is so bad, Rise of Skywalker or prequels, if it's so bad, I won't like it. If it's tolerable, I'll enjoy it. This episode was tolerable. You know, I've seen people complain so much about the cameos in this episode, and I really don't get why. Like, they're just cameos. Like, you're acting like Jack Black whipped out a lightsaber and started, doing crazy shit.
Would have been more interesting than what we got. But
Like, he was there to be there. Like, I liked that they had. Yes, this did feel like a filler episode, but I was fine with it. Like, they had to help these people so that way it would aid them in taking back Mandalore. I was fine with that. I like the fact that this. I said in my review. This episode kind of felt like a Black Mirror episode where it was like that. I really liked how Christopher Lloyd was like, these people live off these droids, and you take away the droids, and it'll cause anarchy on the planet. I was like, that's something that's pretty cool. I did chuckle at the fact that all these droids were prequel droids. That was pretty funny. But like when they actually got down to it, and they were doing the chase sequences and all that stuff, I dug it. I thought it was fine. And then the ending was actually very, very good. And I'm interested to where we go after this. But yeah, I thought this episode was fine. I saw everyone say, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. This is worse than Boba Fett. Oh my God. What are they doing to Mandalorian? They've killed my life. Jon Favreau, I want your head on a platter. I want you hung in the Capitol. Yes, I do.
Not hung in the Capitol, though.
I don't know, bro. Star Wars fans, man. When Star Wars fans are upset, man, are they upset? But yeah, I was fine with this. How did you guys feel about Mandalorian?
This episode was fun. That's really all you can say about it.
It was what?
It was fun.
Oh, fun.
Story wise, it's okay. Honestly, it was just fun to think about all these stories, but just fun to think about this world and all that. But that wasn't really the main meat. Honestly, the last 10 minutes disappointed me a little bit. The last bit. I guess this is sort of this was my gripe from the end of episode 3, I think it was, in like the beginning of episode 4, and this continues my gripe. So did everything from season 2 just not matter for Mando at all? I really don't like how much a lot of Mando's arcs or arcs that they set up were just done like that. At the beginning of the season, many things were clearly set up. Mando wants to take back Mandalore, and so far they're just going about things as usual. Mando wants to redeem himself, go into the lakes of living water and redeem himself. That was right then and done. He just needed to sit there and do nothing, and we will just ignore the fact that he just dropped down and was just completely dead. I was very disappointed with how that end turned out. And number 3, he cannot control the lightsaber, the dark saber. He cannot control that. And the reasoning they gave was that it was an inner turmoil that he had dealt with, that something in his life, in his mind, is preventing him from getting these things through. He can't succeed in that. He can't properly wield that dark saber. So to come at the end of the episode and to completely not only ignore his issues with it, but just flat out delete it from his overall arc. Mando was just like, at a technicality, it's not mine anymore. first of all, you did not think of this until episode 6. Like all of that you went through, and not once did you think, "Oh yeah, I think this is yours now," because technically you did take it from the monster who took it from me.
Should have gave it to her at episode 3 or 4. Well,
Yeah,
4
he
or
should have
4.
given it to her once he saw that technicality. And I guess you can use that technicality to up her status. And that's just fucking dumb anyway. So you just eliminate all 3, not all 3. You eliminate 2 of Mando's centric arcs that you introduced when the season began. Even in the recap at the very beginning of the season, where they were telling us what happened in between with season 2.5. That's what you set up, and then you completely ignore it by the end. So I was very disappointed with how they handled Mando. I think that this is just really bad for, not so bad, but I think that's just not very well done for this series, and I'm fairly disappointed in that. But other than that, the episode was fun. The previous 40 minutes was fun, but it didn't really feel much. You know, I enjoyed my time, but not to the point where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is something. You know, we're gonna forget about this episode the same way we're soon to forget about episode 3, and this is just stat padding. You know, we're just adding on to the series, and that's pretty much it. I think that's mainly what's been wrong with Mando this season. That, you know, episode 3 was, until told otherwise, it's useless right now. Episode 4 was very short for what it is. Season 4, episode 4 was very short for what it is. Episode 5, that was probably as close as you could get to a proper episode in terms of telling the story. Episode 6 is just like episode 3, but probably worse because there is no indication that this will come back. You know, we succeeded in getting that Mando group. That's it. This is just very poor on my standpoint. But it was still an enjoyable episode, but the last 10 minutes I was very disappointed by. As awesome as that little bit was, just as far as Din's arc, that was just not, I did not enjoy myself.
I am the odd man out with this episode. Well, on this panel, because this is the lowest rated episode of the entire series. This episode was not good at all to me. I think it should have been a lot more engaging for what the episode was about. They are trying to reclaim and take back Mandalore. That should be exciting. What they had to do this episode was it dragged its feet and it was very boring. And I'm not crazy. I've talked to a lot of people that felt the same way. The cameos were fine. I didn't really care about them much. Lizzo, that was kind of a weird choice. Like, she's not an actress. So, like, to have Lizzo in an episode of Mandalorian just felt really gimmicky and it took me out. But it wasn't like I was mad that it happened. It just kind of took me out of the situation.
Reminds me of Megan Thee Stallion and She-Hulk.
Yeah, kind of. But this show is not a comedy. That show is kind of a comedy. This show,
it attempts to be a comedy.
You know, well, yeah. I mean, it's not funny, but it is a comedy. That's a genre. So, like, this episode, like with Lizzo and Jack Black was fine. I didn't really have a problem with them, but what they gave Lizzo to do and how she was trying to feed Grogu and he flipped over to the table, I was like, what is this? Stop. Like, okay, let's move on. And when it started moving on to, you know, the everything with the droid, I was like, not for me. This episode is not good. As far as the direction, it was fine. Just I did not like the writing. The last 10 minutes of this episode was great, and I thought the action there was fantastic. Bo-Katan continues to be the star of this season, and I'm loving every second of what they're giving her to do. But yeah, that's how I feel about the episode. It's not good.
I did, to your point about Bo-Katan, I did see that an article or some quote somewhere, and I felt that this was 6 episodes too late, where they said the Mandalorian is just now a title not just reserved for Din Djarin, it's reserved for Mandalorians. So whoever they decide to focus on is the Mandalorian for that season. So I guess in that instance, Bo-Katan is like our main character for the show.
And I think they're gonna end up doing that with Grogu. He's gonna be one of the Mandalorians.
But I was saying that
he's gonna mature a lot.
when they had announced when they were putting the emphasis on Boba Fett, that's what I thought the show was gonna be. I didn't think we were gonna get a spin-off show. I thought it was gonna be season. This is when I thought like Din's story was over in season 2. I was like, season 3 of the Mandalorian is gonna be focused on Boba Fett because he is a Mandalorian. So it's just going to be about Mandalorians, not the Mandalorian.
I do. If this is the case, in different seasons we get different looks at different Mandalorians. I hope we get an armor season. Could be cool. I think that'll be really good.
That could be cool. I definitely take a Bo-Katan season. This is basically her season, but you know, Din is still there, so you know he kind of stealing her like thunder a little bit, but you know. Yeah, that's how I felt.
We got 2 episodes left.
I'm not even. It sucks because I'm not even looking forward to it as much as I should. It sucks. We got a new episode tomorrow, and I'm like,
this is my thing.
Mandalorian.
I'm going to assume the ending stinger of this episode tomorrow is Moff Gideon shows up. You're gonna have him show up tomorrow, or in the next episode. Tomorrow, in the next episode, to then do what? Resolve that conflict in one more episode, and then
that is what I hate. I think this season has felt very similar, and I don't know how much you guys can give me flack for this, to the Marvel shows that we've gotten from Disney Plus.
Yeah,
the first 5-6 episodes, the majority of the season, we're just cruising along, you know, little character development here and there, just cruising along. The second to final episode, we'll actually get some fucking development. At the end of that second to final episode, we'll get some crazy ass twist. Oh my fucking god! And then we resolve it in the final episode in the most rushed product ever.
The worst part is that this season has had the episodes to develop it and didn't.
Because they wasted 2 of them. Arguably 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. I never thought I'd be talking about Mandalorian like this.
I don't know. But we'll be here next week talking about it. Hopefully we'll be like, okay, they fixed it. Will they? No.
I hope so. Yes, sir.
This is going to be the spoiler talk for the Super Mario Brothers movie. Spoiler talk. I did not put the Super Mario Brothers the movie spoiler talk.
It's not called that.
It isn't. Oh
no, it's called the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hope
you got it right.
Put that down.
You got it right.
If you did not see this movie, which I don't know who you are, because this movie made
under
a
a rock.
lot of green this weekend.
True.
Please exit the venue because I do not want you to be spoiled by anything that happens in this movie. And there is a lot to spoil within 90 minutes. This was some good shit. I'm not going to go beat for beat because it's already 9:40, but this, I think, was better than anybody could have predicted. Now, I don't love this movie. I like it a lot. It's very good. But I want to talk about this before we actually talk about the movie. I've been seeing this, and I don't. This is the dumbest argument humanly possible to me. I've seen people say, "Oh, this movie is essentially all fan service, and the fan service is disguising a bad movie." And I'm like, what? You're adapting a video game. The video game is the fan service. It is a adaptation for a reason. First of all, taking out the fan service, I don't think the movie's bad. It's not great. I definitely think the fan service, is, I'd say, like 4 points of this movie score for me. But the movie's not bad. I've seen worse. Like, you guys are acting like you take out the fan service and it's fucking emoji movie. Like, are you serious? Nobody can get anything and not complain about it. I swear. You've got, and I love the people that say, oh, well, I'm a huge fan of the Super Mario Brothers games, and I played all the games, but this movie sucked. If you're a honest Mario fan and you watched this movie and thought it sucked, I don't know what you wanted out of this.
Yeah.
This was exactly what I wanted, minus like one thing. This is exactly what I wanted. What different did you want this movie to be? Name me a single Mario game where it has this amazing character writing and this amazing character development. Last time I checked, Super Mario Brothers became famous not for its writing, but because of its gameplay and its fun. I don't play Mario Kart to see how Princess Peach is going to react when I hit her with a red turtle shell and steal first place from her.
Get a flashback.
Like, it's the same thing with Sonic. Everyone was like, oh, now there are worse written things in Sonic than this movie. But everyone was like, oh, I don't really care for Sonic because they don't really develop Sonic's character like that. Dude, he is a fucking blue talking hedgehog that runs fast and collects rings. Are you serious right now? Now, granted, it depends on the IP, because if they had done The Last of Us like this, it would have been astronomically worse. The difference is The Last of Us is a game based and built off storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Brothers is not. Super Mario Brothers is a game of which you smash a gold cube with a question mark on it, you eat a mushroom or a flower, and you stomp on creatures and collect coins and jump on a flag at the end. And then you eventually go to fight a big evil talking turtle. I don't get it. At that rate, everyone's shitting on this movie. I was like, you know what? If you don't want to have fun with this and you want to be miserable and complain about how this is not a critically well-made movie, be boring, have fun, and miss out on the fun. And don't celebrate that this is probably the best video game movie that was ever made. I don't get it. Nobody can be satisfied with anything. There's always got to be one that always has to bitch about something. I walked out of this movie and I was like, are you fucking people for real with this Rotten Tomato score right now? Now, great. I saw that score and I was like, that's not going to be accurate at all. Because A, it's a video game movie. I learned my lesson with that with Mortal Kombat. Yes, the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie is not a bad movie. I'm sorry, geeks. It's not. It's actually very awesome. But I learned my lesson with that movie too. Because that movie got shit on too. And I was like, that movie was fire. And I was like, dude, this movie looks too good. It just looks too good. It looked like everything I wanted. There was no way that movie was going to be reflective of the Rotten Tomato score. And I was right. Moving on to the actual movie. This movie was very good. It was very good. I love the way this movie looks. I love it. This 4K is going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait to own this on 4K. Because Illumination, you know, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, DreamWorks, you know, they're changing animation." Illumination's doing a really good job with their animation. You know, they just need to work on the writing for their movies. Not with this movie, but you know, their other movies. But they need if they just had better written movies, not like Despicable Me. Well, Rise of Gru, not the first Despicable Me. I think that movie's very good. Um, I think Illumination would be making some banger movies because their movies visually look beautiful. This movie looks amazing. Um, Easter eggs, bro. If you thought Ready Player One had too many Easter eggs, the there's so many Easter eggs. I loved every single one of them. I want to talk about the Mario Kart sequence. That was my favorite part of this movie, and that is the part I look forward to every time I watch this movie now. That sequence is my favorite sequence in a video game, movie, or TV show, period. Every second of that Mario Kart sequence, I absolutely loved. I loved them
You mean the
making
Rainbow
their,
Road sequence, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I them making their carts, the way they leaned into them, the sound effects, everything. I saw the wheels and the gliders on the carts. I said, "Oh my god." That Mario Kart sequence was just everything. Seeing them throw the shells at each other and seeing it because when you play Mario Kart, it just goes boom
Mm-hmm.
and it's whatever. Seeing it act like what it actually does, it goes between the wheels and you're screwed. That was great. That was great. Seeing them throw the banana peels on the road and them get messed up, that was great. All of that was just awesome. The only thing they didn't do was throw the squid. That's the only thing they didn't throw. Um,
That would have been kind of hard, but they did show the squids
yes,
underwater.
they did. And then we got the dreaded thing that gave all grown men and children alike flashbacks. Trauma beyond belief. And I was waiting for it too. I'm like, you
Me too.
gotta have the blue shell.
I was like, "Where's
Gotta
the blue
have the
shell?"
blue
And then the dude turned into the blue shell. I said, "Oh,
Bro, me and my friend, we were hyped the fuck up, bro. When he came out of that rubble and he was talking his shit, it was like, yes, blue shell, come on, blue shell. And then he turned it, yes.
He did the whole thing. He did doof. I was like,
Mhm.
bro, clearly you ain't doing this enough. Cause if as soon as I hear that bam, 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 I slam the brakes on my car and let that shit go for the person behind me, bro. fuck that shit.
It blew through the whole Rainbow Road, though.
That's how it.
It'll-
That's how that shit is in the game. To be honest, it just doesn't blow a hole through the road.
It
but,
don't blow the track up. That's what I'm saying.
And we also the part that I geeked out on almost as much as the turtle shell. He's running away from or driving away. He's driving away from the Koopa, and he's trying to go faster. And I'm like, you gotta drift, you gotta get it purple. Go. And he does it. I said,
Yo, and you drift long enough and you get that boost. And I was like, yo, they actually added this in this movie, bro. I was getting so hyped, bro.
It was just funny because I was saying it. I was like, come on, you gotta get it to purple. Go. And he did it. I was like, oh, he did it. Oh. Seeing I didn't think they were gonna use the modern Mario Kart stuff, like the
gliders.
The gliders and those special wheels, the zero gravity wheels.
The gravity ones too. I was
when
like,
I
yo,
saw
they
that,
actually
I was like,
went there.
and the part where she was Peach was on the ceiling and she flipped them off to save Toad. That oh my god. Also, there's a part in the movie where she's driving on the road and then she switches to drive on water. I was like, I don't know if they added them because I know they added like a crap ton of courses to Mario Kart 8. They need to add courses like that in whatever Mario Kart game they do, because that was really cool. Yeah, that made the whole movie for me.
Fantastic sequence.
Bowser. Probably the best thing about this movie, other than the fact that this movie is actually based off the video game Hardcore.
Peach.
I actually thought I don't know. Listen, I don't know if that was a hot take. I thought Peach was my favorite character in the movie that wasn't Bowser. I thought she was awesome.
No.
She had
She was
one of
cool.
my
She was
one of my
cool.
favorite moments in the movie when we get to the wedding part
Okay,
and
wedding, yeah.
she pulled the ice flower out the bouquet. I said, "Oh!"
Started freezing everything.
That was awesome. But Bowser, so a lot of people have said this, and I do agree. I like that they wrote Bowser around Jack Black. He was essentially Jack Black, but in animated form. And I called it. I was like, he's going to be the best part of the movie. Lo and behold, even people that bitched about this movie, they're like, Jack Black is the best part about this movie. But yeah, I loved the fact that they did Super Mario Odyssey in a movie. Technically, is hilarious to me. The fact that they had him in the white tuxedo and everything, I was like, that's so stupid. I love it. What are some things you guys want to talk about?
Kev, go ahead.
You guys haven't mentioned this yet. I will shout out Chris Pratt. The trailers did him so fucking dirty. It is not even funny. He was okay in the trailers. I didn't hate the voice, but I did not watch the trailers and expect what I saw from the movie. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed what they did with it. He kind of brought out, and I guess they did this on purpose in the beginning when they put him up in Brooklyn. He felt more Brooklyn than he did Italian, and I think that probably was the best middle ground you can get when you casted Chris Pratt. You can't have him be full on Italian, because that would probably be one of the worst things we would have heard. But you also can't have him in his regular voice. I think this was perfect middle point you can go with him, and he did very well. And that was just my main point. I was pleasantly surprised with what we got from Chris Pratt as Mario, and I guess this just shows, you can't really doubt it. Chris Pratt said he trained a lot for this. It's hilarious, but that's how it is.
Piggybacking off of that real quick, I love how they acknowledge the accents in the little commercial thing that they did for the plumbers, and they did the accents, and then they were watching the commercial and they're like, was the accent too much? And I love how they actually showed that, because I kind of was wondering, is he gonna do an accent the whole movie? Is it gonna be that strong? I don't know about that.
And that was the original Mario actor. The voice actor.
Was it? Okay, that's awesome.
That's why it sounded as good as it did.
yeah, that was awesome. So I'm glad that they acknowledged that and acknowledged why he didn't have a Italian accent. Yeah, Kevin, go ahead.
Sorry. There wasn't so much other than what Tyler was piggybacking off of. Actually, one of my favorite parts of the finale, because I don't know why it felt weird bringing it back to New York, because it felt similar to the end of Sonic, the first movie, where they just purposefully brought him back to home area, just so that you can have that big moment where you're just your family, your town behind him, cheering you on. That was weird. I wasn't mad at the battle itself, but it was just when it started, I was like, really? You're gonna bring it back here? You couldn't bring it back to the mushroom place or something like that? It wasn't really as big of a gripe, but that's pretty much it. I really loved when both Luigi and Mario grabbed the star. It wasn't like just Mario; it was both of them. When they grabbed the star, I was like, "Yes!" That was amazing.
I said it for months. I said, if that does not happen, one, I thought if it didn't happen in this movie, it's gonna happen in the next movie. But if they did not do this, I would have been very mad. When he grabbed that star, when they grabbed that star, and I heard, I said, "Oh, bro, they did it! They did it! That was the final. Like, yeah, you solidified. This movie is awesome. From that point, they could just do nothing wrong. That was awesome. That was awesome. This movie did a very good job at satisfying the fans, without a doubt. The other thing that I really liked was them paying homage to the side-scrolling aspect of
Yes,
the games.
I loved that.
When they first showed
when they did
it,
it the first time when they were trying to get to work
I was like,
trying to get
oh!
to their, I said, they did not do this. They did not do this, bro.
Yeah.
Let's
And then
go.
when they did it in the third act, oh man, that was awesome. That was awesome. I was like, I need, like, I can only imagine what they're gonna do in the next one if they do all that.
Do Mario Party. Do some of those mini games for Mario Party.
How do we feel about Donkey Kong? I
really like Donkey Kong a lot. I
like
okay. And Seth Rogen
voice,
said
not
he's not doing any kind of voice. It's gonna be him, and that's what he gave. And we even got the Seth Rogen laugh.
That I did not like. That was one of my bigger gripes with the movie. Not his laugh like solely. There were scenes where they were too obnoxious with what they were doing. One of which was Seth Rogen's laugh. When he did that, I was like, all right, come on. Why? We don't.
I rolled my eyes. I kind of chuckled at it. I was like, of course. Why would it not be here?
It was like that, but they had a couple of obnoxious stuff in the movie, like Seth Rogen's laugh, where you just roll your eyes, chuckle a little bit, and you're just like, what are we doing here? But other than that, Seth Rogen, I really liked him as Donkey Kong. I really liked everybody as their respective characters.
Oh, yeah. The introduction to Donkey Kong, where we kind of got a little bit of Super Smash Bros. In a way.
Yeah,
we kind of got Super Smash Bros. And we kind of got the original Mario where he's throwing the barrels, at the different
watching
platforms.
That, I was like, when he doesn't he like uppercut the shit out of him?
Yes.
Oh, he does like a drop kick too. I was like, my man's would have been out the stage already, bro. Yeah, bro, he would have been destroyed. I loved when he got the cat suit. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna mess you up." He's like, "Oh, I'm a cat. What the?" that was funny.
He got the purple mushroom. I said, "Oh."
He first got hilarious.
I was like, I know what's about to happen.
That was it blue or
something? It was blue or purple.
Yeah. That was hilarious. What else? They made Luma a suicidal starfish.
Who?
The starfish.
Who's Luma?
Rosalina Star.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, well, that's a choice.
I love that character.
It was funny, but I was like, that's a choice.
The sweet relief of death.
I was like, this thing never. this thing. I did laugh.
I don't care. It is hilarious. Every single time he says some shit, I'm just like,
no. It was funny when Luigi got caught and the starfish was like, "Oh, we're all gonna like, there's no hope. We're all gonna die." And then the penguins are like, "Please, we're miserable enough." It was like,
fresh.
Yay! And I can't. And then the penguins are like, "Oh, I hope we get out of here soon." And then the thing dropped in. It's like, "You're all gonna die." And the starfish is like, "Yay!" They're like, "No!" that was funny. What else?
We got a few flashbacks with Baby Mario, Baby
Man,
Luigi.
let me tell you. If you did not freak the fuck out seeing Baby Mario and Baby Luigi on the big screen, you are not a true Nintendo fan. I saw that. I said, "Oh!"
I saw Baby Peach too with the pacifier.
Man, I saw that and I was like, man, I know some of y'all were rocking that Baby Mario game. Y'all were rocking that.
The Yoshi's Island. Island. You got Baby Mario on you.
In terms of a sequel, I definitely think the next step is Mario Galaxy. That's the only
see that for sure.
That's the only thing I can see them doing with having Bowser be the villain again. You know that's gonna happen. I just hope
we need Bowser Jr. too.
Oh my god,
we didn't get Bowser Jr. in this one, so.
Bro, please give him the cart. Give him the little fucking thing, please. I need that. Yes, I need that. But yeah, I definitely see them doing Mario Galaxy, and I'm okay with that. Mario Galaxy is my favorite. It's up there.
That is my favorite Mario game.
It's up there.
Very close
with Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah,
very close.
We feel the same way. I'd probably say Galaxy is my favorite, but without a doubt, they're gonna try and do Galaxy because that's the only thing I can see them doing. We got 2 post-credit scenes. One was Bowser playing his Oscar-eligible nominated song. I could not have written Bowser any perfectly than they did in this movie. I was like, this is so stupid. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was one that was kind of disappointing because
you found it disappointing?
It was fine, but I was like, you already showed him just 8 different colors.
Yeah, but it wasn't the one. It wasn't the one. That's why I get it. No, I understand the disappointment, but it wasn't even at the Bowser's wedding, Bowser and Peach's wedding. One of the things gave a Yoshi egg as a gift.
I saw that.
I was like, yo, that's funny. But yeah, you hear the little Yoshi, at the end.
Oh, okay.
And then when I was walking out of the theater, somebody said Yoshi will return in the next installment.
That's something I want to talk about with. I know there's a lot of different games you can adapt for the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they put all their eggs in one basket for this movie.
No, they did. They put a lot.
I don't think so. There's
not all of them.
I'm not saying to the point where they would have nothing to work with in the next movie. I'm just saying this felt like a lot.
Luigi and Waluigi.
They put
Waluigi and yeah.
That's what I thought one of the post was going to be. I was like, let us see Wario, let us see Waluigi.
Wario, Waluigi. We got Rosalina. We never did get Rosalina in this one.
Daisy, we didn't get
Daisy. We didn't get Daisy in this one either. So
honestly, I thought she was going to be in the movie. The way they brought us Peach, I thought that was going to be like the same logic, or at least she'd be younger or something like that in it. But I'm be shocked how they introduce her.
Might bring some other game characters into it. I mean, we saw Diddy Kong for like a split second, but
that was funny.
It was.
We saw Diddy. Yeah,
that was funny. People didn't really like Cranky Kong, the voice, and I can kind of agree with that.
Really?
Because they wanted him to sound like old and grizzled, and I can kind of agree with that. He sounded just like regular. I was like, that's not what Cranky Kong sounds like, bro.
I've never heard Cranky Kong talk, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know. I expected like an old man voice, and he kind of was just like fine. That was kind of the one gripe. The other gripe, Illumination, for the love of Jesus, enough with the licensed music, bro.
Nah, bro. Nah. I was turning up. I was turning all the way up, bro.
Bro, listen.
Sleep till Brooklyn.
No, bro, that was fine. That was fine. I was fine with that. But, bro, if I have to hear, I need a hero in a movie this year, one more time, I'm gonna plow my head through a wall. I heard
I
it
forgot
in
we had that shit.
bro. I heard it. This shit in Shazam. Apparently, it was in the Tetris movie. I got it in Bullet Train also last year, bro. What the fuck is this fascination with this song?
I would get rid of it for all the other movies and keep it in this movie. I loved it. I loved it.
I would take it in Bullet Train because it's in Japanese and that's awesome. What else?
They had Aha when they entered the Donkey Kong country. Take on Me.
That's another song I'm tired of hearing.
I was digging every song. I said, "Oh, this soundtrack is raw." I loved it.
We haven't the original score in this movie is awesome.
I really enjoyed how much they mixed it with like the original songs from the games.
They did.
They have released that clip, but the part where they're first walking through the Mushroom Kingdom, I'm like, bro, from the game. Yeah. Also, I loved how they showed what it looks like to travel through one of those pipes. That was hilarious, and I loved how they showed him going through like 8 different pipes, and he was like, "What? What?" Because that's some real shit, bro.
Yeah. The whole thing where Peach was saying, I'll take you on this journey with me, I'll take you on this journey with me if you can do this, level or whatever. Essentially it's a level, and I felt like that him trying to do that was very reminiscent of playing a level that is so hard to beat. You playing it all night, the same level, and you can't beat it, and you see the sun come up, and you still on that level. I was like, yo,
I can
that's
see that.
very reminiscent of that, bro.
You're just like,
you get past the one part, and then you die at the very next part. That's some real stuff, man.
It's
real.
Really, I chuckled when she jumped on the flag. It was I'm like, bro, they get it. They get it.
They did the flag name twice because they did it when they were trying to get to the job too.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't talk about the beginning, but
the scene with the dog.
How did y'all feel about the beginning of this movie before we got to Mushroom Kingdom?
I enjoyed it because I thought that they're just going to come up with some trash ass way of introducing us to these characters and just he's in this world, and they did. I like that they sort of grounded our characters a little bit. Had Mario and Luigi have this family. They want to start a plumbing business that started off horribly because of that fucking dog, but regardless. I really enjoyed it because it gave us a little bit of a layer to it. They didn't really utilize it, but it's not the point of it. It's just something like, we can feel for our characters because they came from our worlds. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that they brought back the original voice of Mario in that one little scene. In that pizza. It was in the pizza store,
commercial.
Right? Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
But the scene with the dog, while I enjoyed it, it felt like I was watching Secret Life of Pets featuring Mario. It was funny, but I was like, this is a really weird way to start this movie. But okay.
I was thinking kind of the same thing, and I was like, how much? I feel like it was kind of a longer sequence too. And I was like, how are they going to get from here to Mushroom Kingdom? And like, how much time do we have left in this movie? Because I know it's short. I know it's really short. So I don't want them to spend all this time setting up and like getting there, and we don't have any time there. And we had a plenty of time, in Mushroom Kingdom, and
the part that made me love the dog part was when the dog jumped out of the window. When the dog leaped out the window, I said, "Oh!" "Oh!"
Yeah.
I think that's it. A lot of people are saying they should get Danny DeVito for Waluigi. I mean, not Waluigi, Wario, and Steve Buscemi as Waluigi.
I haven't seen that. I've seen Pedro Pascal for Wario and
Oh my
Waluigi,
Jack Quaid.
Waluigi.
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid?
I
No,
saw Jack Quaid.
No, I didn't see that. I saw Bill Hader.
It might have been Bill Hader.
Yeah, I seen
They
Bill
they
Hader.
look alike.
Okay.
I Steve Buscemi as Waluigi, definitely.
I could see that. I could definitely see Steve Buscemi doing Waluigi.
But
But
yeah,
does he do voice acting? I don't know if
Yeah,
he
he
does voice
does.
acting. Okay.
I've definitely heard him in some things before.
He might have been.
But yeah, the fact that we're sitting here like, bro, give me like 18 Mario movies.
Yeah, they could make an infinity of these. I'll watch everyone.
Now the thing that people wondered is, what are they gonna do other Nintendo properties?
Yeah.
Some I want, some I don't want.
I'll put it like this: the ones that were suggested, like they said, Legend of Zelda.
No,
I don't want Illumination touching Legend of Zelda, but if it goes to a different studio, it could be okay. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a Legend of Zelda movie, or even a movie with Toon Link. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Toon Link. Yeah. So even a movie with Toon Link, because I feel like that, tone of, those games with Toon Link are different than the original Legend of Zelda games. They're a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more fun. So, and then they said Star Fox, Metroid, Donkey Kong solo film. I'm down with that. Kirby. Illumination could do Kirby.
I want Kirby.
I could see Kirby, Illumination doing Kirby. That would be cool. Even Donkey Kong, like I'm cool with Illumination doing Donkey Kong too.
But I don't want them doing Legend of Zelda or Metroid at all.
I don't even know how they would do Metroid. Like
Illumination presents Metroid.
Yeah, yo, what? No, but then I saw Super Smash Bros. I was like,
Gotta wait. You gotta wait. I want to see these other characters first.
Of course. Not just this movie and then Super Smash Bros. No, you definitely have to build to that. But there we go.
If that movie ever gets made, I hope they treat it like it's just a tournament. That would be the best thing ever. Just like
only a tournament, no story.
All right, you know what I mean.
Dude,
there is
nobody's gonna get it except you two. You take the tournament from My Hero and you put that in a movie with Nintendo characters for 2 hours. You're gonna tell me that's not gonna work?
You gotta get pictures. You gotta do a Pokemon movie too.
That's animated. What I want.
You gotta do an animated Pokemon movie.
I feel like that should be the blueprint for Super Mario. Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. You have it be. I want an actual Pokemon movie because Detective Pikachu is very fine, but it's kind of throwaway for me. I want a actual hardcore Pokemon movie where you got Ash Ketchum, you got Team Rocket, all of them. But yeah, Illumination did good. You got one in the bag. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up. You had the highest opening of any animated movie of all time.
Over Frozen 2.
You need to realize that happened for a reason. It wasn't just because it was Super Mario. That's a big part of it. But it's also because people loved this movie. Please acknowledge that. Acknowledge the fact that there is a reason why everyone saw this movie, because people loved it and it was good. Keep making them good. That is going to do it for this episode of Nerd Talk. Moving on to Blu-ray collection. I know you guys don't really have anything. I bought a couple things.
This is my Blu-ray of the month.
We all just own cast now.
Phoenix is the pick of the week.
He's the pick of the week, man.
He's cheaper than any steelbook that's coming out. First thing I got was Dead Space, the remake. My Target had it on sale for $55. That's definitely better than paying $70 for it. And this game so far is fantastic. This is very good. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And the last thing I got, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. The final vinyl for Shinedown, The Sound of Madness. My favorite Shinedown album from them. One of the best rock albums of all time. I absolutely love it. And I just saw them on Friday. Insane experience seeing them again. I could have flung this at them and hit them in the head with it. That's how close I was. Yeah, now I have all 7, and it will be 8 when they make an 8th, and it will be 9 and 10, as many as they need to. Because
the first one you bought was Plan Zero, right?
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. But yeah, I'm very happy about having all 7 now. They stay graciously on my wall as I look up before I go to bed. I love it. But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode of Nerd Talk. It was a big one. Thank you to everyone who showed up. We will be back probably Tuesday next week talking about Mando and Bel Air, as well as other things that come out in the week. Hopefully there are things, that way we can fill up that show. And then after that, that following Sunday, we will be back talking about, maybe it's either Sunday or Tuesday. We will be back talking about Evil Dead Rise, my most anticipated, well, me and AJ's most anticipated movie of 2023. Thank you guys so much. Everyone's details will be in the bio. If you like Blu-ray hunting videos and movie reviews and all that, turn on the bell for notifications. Please leave a like and subscribe to Alex's channel. And we are out on this one. Everyone have a great night.